From the campus of California State University, Fullerton, Titan Communications presents Titan Radio Theater. Welcome. I'm Rob Van Riel. This evening, our talented radio students will present 4 live radio dramas from our online Zoom production studio. Tonight, we will present Suspense, 0 Hour, Sherlock Holmes, Adventure of the Tolling Bell, The Lone Ranger, Trouble at the Rafter, and Lights Out, Ghost Party. Now let's enjoy our first trip into the world of old-time radio with Suspense, 0 Hour.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. And now, tonight, Suspense brings you a repeat performance of one of the most controversial plays ever presented over your radio. It's called 0 Hour by Ray Bradbury, starring Group 1 in Com 375. Here's tonight's suspense play, 0 Hour.
Above the world so high, like a diamond.
Oh boy, this is fun.
What a game. Such excitement they hadn't known in years. Mink talked earnestly to someone near the rosebush, though no one was there. When the 2 little girls, shouting, laughing at each other, such fun, such tremulous joy. Mink ran into the house, all dirt and sweat. For her few years, she was loud and strong and definite. And her mother, Mrs. Morris, peeling vegetables at the sink, watched with amusement as her daughters threw into a sack old pots and tools and things that were regulated to child play.
My goodness, Mink, what's going on?
Oh, the most exciting game ever, just ever.
Oh?
It's all right. I take these, Ma?
Just don't dent them, and it's all right.
Thanks, Ma. We won't. Bye.
All right, dear. Oh, what's the name of the game, dear?
Invasion.
Invasion?
Invasion. And in the garden now, a serious concentration. Mink with an assortment of pots, pans, and wretches, forks, spoons, and her friend Anna, a little younger, tongue in teeth, taking notes on a pad.
This, and this. What's it say next?
Wait a minute, Mink.
Well, hurry up.
4, 9, 7, A and a B and an X.
4, 9, 7, A and a B and an X.
A folk and a string and a hex, 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 a gone all.
A folk and a string and a hex, a gone all. What do we do next, Mr. Drill?
And then Mink's talking to the rosebush again, and to her own satisfaction, at least receiving some kind of answer, which she relayed to Anna.
Triangle, how do you spell it?
Oh, any old way. Doesn't matter. Now write beam.
I haven't got triangle yet.
Well, hurry. 0 hours by 5 o'clock. We haven't got all day.
And then, time out from Invasion for lunch. Mink bolted down the soup and coincidentally crammed a sandwich into her mouth.
Now you slow down, Mink. Whatever's waiting will wait a few minutes longer.
But I can't. Drill's waiting for me.
Drill? That's a peculiar name. Is he a new boy in the neighborhood, dear?
He's new, all right.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen him. Which one is Drill?
Oh, he's just around. You'll make fun. Everybody makes fun. All the kids do.
Well, I don't think that's very nice. Is Drill shy?
Yes, in a way. I don't know. I gotta go now, Mom, if we're gonna have the invasion.
Now you finish your milk, miss. Who's invading what?
Martians. Martians invading Earth from up there.
Oh, I see. And Drill's a Martian?
I think so. He's had a very hard time getting here.
I should imagine.
They couldn't figure out a way to attack Earth by getting or something, and Drill says they have to do it by surprise and even get help from your enemy.
Oh, a fifth column, huh?
Uh-huh. And all this time they haven't been able to figure out how to attack until one day they thought of children.
Well, that was bright of them.
And they thought of how grown-ups are so busy they never look under rose bushes or on lawns.
Oh, that's where Drill is now? Under the rose bush?
Uh-huh, with all his friends too. And there's something about kids under 11 with imagination. It's real funny to hear Drill talk.
Well, it must be. You better run along if you want to have your invasion before dark. Oh, and bathe tonight. School tomorrow, you know.
Drill says I won't have to take any more baths.
Oh, he does he?
And we can stay up till 10 o'clock.
Well, your friend, Mr. Drill, had better mind his P's and Q's, or I'm gonna call up his mother and
That's just it. Drill says you're dangerous because you don't believe in Martians. Just like you think Drill's a kid. Well, he's not. And they're going to let us run the world when they get in. All of us kids, and I might even be a queen.
well, that's nice, dear. Now run along.
Mom,
What is it, dear?
Mom, when the invasion comes, we'll have to get rid of you and Daddy. But I'll be sure it won't hurt very much.
Well, thanks. Thanks a lot. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mary. How are things in New York?
Oh, Helen, how nice. Are you in town?
Oh, no, I'm in Danbury. I was just thinking of you and I thought I'd call.
Oh, it's a long distance, though. You shouldn't.
Oh, I can afford 3 minutes. How's Henry?
Fine. And Bill?
Oh, just fine. What about Mink?
Oh, wonderful. Noisier than ever. Oh, she's got a new game now. It's taken the place of hopscotch. Invasion?
Is she playing that too?
Well, yes. Are yours?
Same thing. Some kind of geometric jacks, I suppose. Isn't it a scream? You know, all the kids and their age are playing it up there. Timmy's got a crush on some guy named Drill. I think that's what it is.
Oh, it must be a new password. Mink likes him too.
Oh, I didn't know it had gotten up to New York. Word of mouth, I suppose. You know, kids. Funniest thing, I got a letter from my sister in Boston. She says her kids are playing it too. It's just sweeping the country.
Well, I wonder where they learned it.
Oh, don't ask me. All I know is what Timmy tells me at lunch. 0 hours at 5 o'clock.
When?
Today, that's when the invasion is going to be. Oh, these kids and their imaginations.
An hour drives by. It was 3 o'clock. There was an occasional hum inside the coolness of the house as a car passed outside. The street was lined with good green and peaceful trees, and all across the city, in other gardens, in other places, children were playing under 11 were excitedly playing a game, talking to rose bushes and grass and lawns, trees and shrubs, even children in apartment houses high in the air, conferring with potted plants, cactus, ivy. Miss Morris finished her housework and went into the kitchen.
Oh, hello, dear.
Hi, Mom. Can I have a glass of water?
Of course, I'll get it.
Pi r squared 0.7 a over 56 to the 7th degree xt7.
What, dear?
Oh, nothing, Mom.
Oh, here you are.
Thanks.
How are things going?
Huh?
The invasion.
Oh, that.
Yes, that.
Almost finished. When everything's right, drill says we should be ready on time.
5 o'clock.
That's right. How'd you know?
Helen called me from Danbury. She says that Timmy's playing it too.
Hey, that's keen.
I guess all the kids are, aren't they?
No, not all of them. Got guys like Jimmy Wood and Bob Wilson. They're growing up and they make fun of us. They're worse than parents. They just won't believe in drill. They're so smart just because they're growing up. You think they know better. They were little only a couple years ago. We'll get rid of them first. Drill says it's okay to kill them first.
Now, Mink, I don't like that kind of talk. Do you hear me? I don't like it at all.
Oh, Mom.
Now I mean it. You keep on that way and there will be no more playing. You'll have to tell Anna to go home and you'll stay inside until bedtime.
I'm sorry.
Well, I should think so.
Thanks for the water, Mom.
Mink,
Yes, Mom?
what did those numbers mean?
Those numbers you were saying to you. Oh. Let's get that. Oh, they're things that we have to do to get Drill and his friends out. That's all.
Look, dear, why don't you and Anna go down to the drugstore and get some ice cream? You don't even have to use your allowance. I'll pay for it.
Haven't got time, Mom. Thanks.
Well, I'd never believe I'd hear you say that.
I gotta go now, Mom.
Wait a minute, Mink. I want you to tell me the truth. What is this invasion silliness?
It isn't silly. It's just a game, that's all. Mom, we're just playing an invasion. Excuse me, I gotta get back now. I'll see you later.
Another hour passed, and it was 4:30. The day began to wane. The sun lowered in a peaceful blue sky. Shadows lengthened on the green lawn. Outside, it was quiet. The little girls a little more intent than ever upon their endless movement of design and pattern with the implements before them. Miss Morris watched from the window, and she had never known Mink to have such powers of concentration. She had turned on the radio and sat drinking a cup of coffee and turned over her thoughts. 4:54 and 20 seconds. Miss Morris knew it wasn't as silly as she thought, because it wasn't 5 o'clock yet, not 0 hour yet. Then the car drove up into the hallway.
Hi, Mink. How's it going? Hi, Anna.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Mr. Morris.
Fine.
Got a kiss for your old man?
Haven't got time now, Daddy.
Well, that's a nice thing. What are you doing?
We're playing invasion.
Oh, swell. Your mother in the house?
Uh-huh.
Okay, be good.
I will. 0 hours in a few minutes, Daddy.
All right, I'll be ready.
Miss Morris heard him chuckle. Then it stepped up the walk to the front door.
Mary.
I'm in the living room, dear.
Oh, hi. Our daughter didn't even have time for a kiss. How about you?
Hard day?
Not particularly.
Would you like a cocktail?
Martine,
Me?
you read my mind. Perfect. Anything exciting happened today?
No. Oh, Helen called from Danbury. I told her that she was crazy, but she just felt like calling.
Hey, incidentally, what's this new game the kids are playing? Invasion. That's a nice suppressing thought. Is she all right? Come to think of it, she looked kind of funny.
She's all right. What's the time, Henry?
A couple minutes after 5. Why?
No, the clock's wrong. By your watch.
Oh, I've got 2 minutes too. I'm probably slow. You got something on the stove?
No, I just wondered.
Honey, hey, look at me. What's the matter?
Nothing, really.
Now?
Really?
Mink's been up to something.
No, of course not.
Then what?
I guess I'm a a little tired, upset. That's all.
You want to go out for dinner?
Oh no, I've got a steak here.
I'll tell you what, I'll barbecue. How'd that be?
Oh, fine. Wait, what was that?
What?
Well, I thought I heard something.
Well, I didn't.
I must have been imagining it.
Hey, you are jumpy. Why don't you have a drink? It'll do you good.
No, I don't want one. What's the time?
Mary, what is this? Now I mean it. Something's wrong and I want to know.
It's silly. It's so silly. I'm on edge, that's all.
Mary,
I am.
I don't like this. That kid's done something, hasn't she? I'm gonna get her in here.
No, Henry, please don't. She hasn't. It's nothing at all. I just...
What's that?
I don't know.
Those kids haven't got anything dangerous out there, have they? I noticed a lot of junk lying around.
I thought it was a game. She wouldn't have done it herself. They made her do it.
What the devil?
Maybe you better go out and tell her to go stop playing now. It's after 5. You told me to put off the invasion until tomorrow.
It's coming from outside. What are they up to? I better take a look. Mink! Mink! Good Lord! Bombs! They're bombing!
No, it's upstairs. I know it is. In the attic. That's where it is.
Mary, it's not up there.
He ran after her confused, not a little frightened. She seemed to know something.
In the attic.
Her mind had worked that quickly. Any excuse to get him away from outside, to get him upstairs to the attic in time. And outside, there were more explosions, and they could hear children screaming with delight.
It's not in the attic, it's outside. Mink's out there. What's the matter with you?
No, I'll show you. Hurry, get inside quick.
Are you crazy? Why'd you throw that key away?
Maybe we can sneak out later. Maybe we can escape.
For heaven's sake, the kid's out there. Do you want her to get kicked?
Oh, no. You don't know. You don't. We've got to stay here. We've got to. It's horrible. You got to stay here with me.
At this point, I don't know how the devil I can get out. Where's that light?
Be quiet, please. Be quiet. They'll hear us. They'll find us. Henry, please.
Well, who's going to answer the telephone? There's that noise again. It's in this house. Mary, what is this? Mary, what's happening? You know now, answer me. Stop it, Mary, stop it. Somebody's downstairs. Who's down there? Who?
Oh, no. Oh, hush. Please be quiet. They might go away. Please.
Between his wife's hair and the electric humming from below, Mr. Morris felt a great fear. They trembled together in silence in the attic. Mr. and Mrs. Morris, parents of the little girl, then heard steps coming from up the stairs. And a voice.
Mommy, Daddy, where are you?
And a queer, cold light became visible under the door crack. The strange odor and the alien sound of eagerness in Mink's voice was almost more than they could bear. Each wanted to scream.
Mommy, Daddy.
And another sound. And the attic lock melted. Mink with bright little eyes and tousled hair, peered inside, and behind her, tall, wavering blue shadows, frightful shadows.
Peekaboo. No.
Ah!
won't you fill up? Jack Benny, won't you fill up?
People everywhere are filling up with Texaco Sky Cheap, the gasoline that can drive down the cost of driving and save you money. But one man continues to buy only 1 gallon at a time, and we're going all out to get him to fill up.
Won't you fill up? Jack Benny, won't you fill up? We'll sing the whole day long. Won't you fill up? With Sky Cheap, fill it up, Jack. We wouldn't steer you wrong. There was that rainy evening when you got stuck. It makes no sense to push your luck. It's money in the bank when you fill up your tank. Jack Benny, won't you please fill up?
I'll take a gallon.
Oh, no! Jack Benny, won't you please fill up?
Okay, where is it? You mean you ain't got it? No, we ain't got it, and we need it. We got a big date tonight. It ain't there yet.
It isn't even here yet.
Where is it?
We're out of it.
What is it? Where do we get it? What is it?
The factory's got it.
Oh. Is this it? No, idiot. Hello, factory? Where is it? Keep your shirt on and you'll get it. Let's go, boys. This is it.
What is it? It's about time.
It's Aquanet hairspray for women.
And girls.
Anyone can give a girl flowers. The more you use hairspray, the more you need Aquanet.
Welcome back to Titan Radio Theater. We're glad that you've joined us to watch and listen to these student-produced radio dramas. Our next exciting radio play should have a nice ring to it. I can't wait to watch Sherlock Holmes and the Adventure of the Tolling Bell.
Titan Theater on the Air presents The New Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, starring Cade Bucknam as Dr. Watson and David Alvarez as Sherlock Holmes. Now, once again, it's time to keep that weekly appointment with our good friend and host, Dr. Watson. Good evening, Dr. Watson.
Well, good evening, Mr. Bell. As usual, you're punctual to the minute. Pull up a chair and make yourself comfortable.
Thank you. I see you have the old black tin dispatch box out again, Dr. Watson. I deduce that you are going over notes on tonight's case?
Elementary, my dear boy. Among the records, I came across some notes of some cases that I'd almost forgotten. The shocking death of Crosby the banker, the Aldotine tragedy, and some data on the unusual contents of the ancient British pharaoh.
Those stories sound pretty intriguing, Dr. Watson.
I shall tell them to you some other evening, Mr. Bell, but tonight I'm going to recount an adventure that took place in the heart of the beautiful English countryside. I call it The Adventure of the Tolling Bell. Well, that story began in a small country village of Conforth. Holmes had recently brought to a successful conclusion the affair of the barrow and the furnace wheelchair motors, and we decided a few days' rest in nearby Conforth would do us some good before returning to our arduous life on Baker Street. We were staying in a small but comfortable inn. Only on the morning of the third day, I remember, Holmes and I were in our bedroom, waiting for those two essentials without an Englishman could not start his day. An early morning cup of tea and a jug of hot water for shaving. As we sat there at the open window, a nearby church bell was tolling a funeral bell. There must be a funeral in the village, Holmes.
An astonishing deduction, Watson.
There's no need to make fun of me. Impressing sound, isn't it?
I suppose so. Has it ever occurred to you, Watson, that the history of bells is full of romantic interest?
Well, I can't say that I've thought much about it.
Almost every historical event has been accompanied by the sound of bells. They summoned soldiers to arms as well as Christians to church. They sounded the alarm in the 5-2 Multan invasion, and many a bloody chapter in history has been rung in and out by bells.
Well, you seem to be a mind of information on the subject.
Yes, Watson, it is a fascinating subject.
Come in, come in. Good morning, my dear.
Pardon me, gentlemen. I brought your tea and your shaving water. Mrs. Michael said your breakfast will be ready in half an hour.
Splendid, Marianne. Oh, Mary, the church bell is tolling a funeral bell. Do you know who's being buried?
That I do, sir. I wish it was me. It will be my turn soon.
Poor little thing. I wonder what's the matter with her.
I have no idea.
Perhaps it's her father who just died. Or a young man. Yes, I bet that's it. She's a pretty girl. She'd obviously been crying when she came in. Perhaps that's her fiancé they're burying now.
Watson, you have the sentimental imagination of the true storyteller. But we've come here for a holiday. You must give your imagination a rest too. So, drink your tea, remove your whiskers, and we'll go downstairs and investigate those kippers.
You like your kippers, gentlemen?
Excellent, Mrs. Michael, excellent. Never eaten better.
Yes, indeed. By the way, Mrs. Michael, we heard the funeral bell tolling earlier on. Do you know who was being buried?
Yes, I do. 2 souls were being buried, and one of them was a murderer.
A murderer? Lord, in this peaceful village?
What happened, Mrs. Michael?
Old Threadgold, the corn merchant, found his wife being gallivanting around with a young fellow from Bolton. Cut her throat, he did, and then hanged himself. More tea?
Thank you.
Shocking. So this peaceful countryside isn't as peaceful as it's made out to be, Holmes.
Thank that I frequently had occasion to point out to you, Watson. Has the morning post arrived yet, Mrs. Michael?
Here comes old Gilly up the path with it now. I'll see if he's got anything for you.
A murder. What do you make of it, Holmes?
What is there to make of it, Watson? A jealous husband murders a faithless wife and then commits suicide. A tragic story, but a simple one.
Up of the morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning, Gillian. Any letters for me today?
Aye, Mr. Holmes, 2 letters. One of them's got some newspaper clippings on it, I think, and the other a postcard from a Mr. Lestrade. He wants you back in London. There you are.
Pardon myself, Gilly. You've been reading Mr. Holmes' private correspondence?
Bless your heart, Dr. Watson. If I didn't read other people's correspondence, how would I know what's going on in the village?
You were right, Gilly. It is newspaper clippings. And by the way, you heard about the murder of Mr. Threadgold, I suppose?
Heard about it. I told the bell this morning at the funeral.
Did you say that you're the bell ringer as well as the postman?
Bless your heart. Yes, Doctor. President of the Choral Society, too, as well as being the Petties Council.
You're a busy man, Gillian.
That I am, sir. Take this afternoon now. I'm to ring those bells again.
Not another funeral, surely.
No, sir. A wedding this time.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it.
Young St. Perry is marrying Slater Girl. And you might say I'm responsible for bringing them together. Got some letters mixed up. They look each other up and exchange them, and presto! Before you know the happening, they're getting married. Regular Cupid, you might say I am.
Be off with you, Gilly. Other people's want their letters. Mr. Holmes doesn't want his kipper spoiled with your idle chatter.
All right, Mrs. Crab Apples and Vinegar.
Ah.
One of these fine days you'll smile and the world will come to an end. Good day, gentlemen.
Talkative old busy boy is. Oh, Mr. Holmes, Mrs. Lackland's in the hall. The poor lady's most anxious to talk to you.
Mrs. Lackland?
She has the seamstress stop on the high street. Her son ran away from home a few months back. I think that's what she wants to speak to you about.
Oh, but my friend's here for a rest, Mrs. Michael.
I told her that, Doctor, but she won't go away without seeing Mr. Holmes.
Oh, very well. Ask her to come in, please, Mrs. Michael.
Yes, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, I do bother to see her, Holmes. Sounds like a trivial matter.
The disappearance of an only son can never be a trivial matter.
Well, I meant trivial for you, not for her.
This is Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, dear. Thank you, Emmy. Good morning, sirs.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please, sit down, Mrs. Lackland. That's it. Now, what's the trouble?
It's Tom, sir, me only son. He left me 4 months ago, and I have not seen a light of him since.
You've had no message of him since he left?
Not one word, and I'm fair out of my mind, sir.
Have you any idea of his reason for leaving the village, Mrs. Lackland?
None, sir. He was a good boy and he worked hard, and he didn't fool around with those flibby-gibbet girls in the village. I think he's met with foul-play gentlemen, and I want you to find out about him for me, Mr. Holmes. I've heard say in the village that you're the greatest detective in England.
Mrs. Lackland, I'd be glad to help you, but you've given me no clues to work with. I'm afraid that
If it's money you want, I've got £20 in me postal savings. It's all yours if you can bring my Tommy home to me, or at least tell me he's safe.
Mrs. Lackland, I wouldn't dream of accepting a fee. However, I shall give your problem some thought. If I arrive at any conclusions, I'll get in touch with you at once.
God bless you, Mr. Holmes. Good morning to you, sirs.
Good day.
Good morning, Mrs. Lackland. Poor old thing. I don't see how you can help her, Holmes.
Nor do I, at the moment. But a young man who has grown up in a small village like this may have led a life that his mother was totally unaware of. You said that you have to work on one of your stories today, Watson.
Yes, I have a letter from the editor of the Strand magazine yesterday requesting a manuscript as soon as possible.
Splendid. Then you must stay at the inn and work on your latest masterpiece, while I scour the village to see what may be found about the missing young man.
Ah, there you are, Holmes. I was beginning to think you got lost.
Hello, Watson. I trust you had a profitable section with pen and paper?
I got about half a chapter. I would have done more if I had it been for those infernal bells.
The wedding ceremony that the worthy Gellion told us about this morning. Oh, I'm tired.
What did you find out about Mrs. Lackland's son?
Among other things, he had a secret love life unknown to his mother, and the object of his affections was none other than the maid who brought us our tea this morning.
Mary, did you talk to her?
No, it's her half-day off and I was unable to find her, but I shall question her when she brings our tea tomorrow morning. Come in, Mary.
Oh, Mrs. Michael.
Good morning, gentlemen. Here's your tea and shaving water.
Where's Mary this morning?
She didn't come to work. Must be ill again. Not a reliable girl, and no better she ought to be if you ask me. It's no job for me to be carrying tea and hot water upstairs.
I hear the village bell tolling for another funeral. Does Cornforth have a burial every morning? I really don't see how the population can run to it.
It's another suicide, sir.
Another suicide? Good Lord.
Old John Letterby, the baker. He was expecting some money from his son in Australia. It never came, and they foreclosed on his shop. And he hanged himself. Will you be wanting a couple of boiled eggs for your breakfast, gentlemen?
No. I haven't much of an appetite. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
That woman seems absolutely heartless. She almost smacks her lips when she tells about these tragedies.
Yes, Watson, I noticed it. This peaceful village is beginning to seem strangely sinister to me. And since you have no appetite for breakfast, perhaps you'll join me in a little excursion as soon as you're dressed.
Of course. Where are we going?
To see the maid, Mary. I'm anxious to talk to her before another funeral bell begins to toll.
This must be the cottage home. They said it was the one with the honeysuckle over the gate.
Ah, yes, and there's Mary sitting on the porch.
She's got up. She's coming up the path to meet us.
Good morning, Mary. I'm sorry you're not feeling well.
Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson, why have you come here? Not to ask about my health. Why should a silver girl matter to gentlemen like you?
Oh, you've misjudged us, my dear. I assure you that we...
No, Watson, let's be honest and admit we didn't come here because of our concern for Mary's health.
Then why did you come here, sir?
Mrs. Lackland asked me to try and find her son, Tom.
Tom?
Yes, Tom Lackland. I thought you might be able to help me, Marion.
If I could help you, Mr. Holmes, I'd be helping myself too. Here comes Gilly, the postman. Gilly, is there a letter for me today?
No, lass. There's nothing for you again.
Gilly, there must be.
No, lass. If there were a letter were to come, I would bring it as fast as my legs could carry me. You know that. Morning, Mr. Holmes. Morning, Dr. Watson. Left some letters at the inn for you, Doctor. You had a letter from a lady.
Gillian, how did you know it was from a lady?
Reeked with the smell of violets, it did. And it was written in green ink on grey paper, sir.
Amazing deduction.
That sounds like your young friend from Dalis, Watson.
How did you know about... I don't have a young friend from Dalis.
Quite. Gilly, you told another funeral bill today, didn't you?
Aye, sir. A tragic one it was. Old letterby hung himself because he didn't get money from his son in Australia. I found him. I did. I was the one who cut him down. And right in me post bag was a letter he's waiting for. The letter that would have saved his life.
Great Scott. What a ghastly piece of irony.
That it was, sir. That it was. Well, gentlemen, I'll be on my way. Good day. Good day, Mary. Perhaps the letter will arrive tomorrow.
No, I'll never hear from Tom now. He's ashamed of me. That's why he deserted me.
Deserted you, Mary? You speak almost as if you were his wife.
I am his wife.
What?
We were secretly married in Rochdale 5 months ago, come Tuesday.
And he never told his mother?
He was afraid to. She thought I was beneath him. Tom said he'd go away and get a good job, and then return here and fetch me back with him. He went away all right, but he never came back or sent me a word.
When he left, did he give no clues to his destination? No hints of any kind, Mary?
Wait, he did once say, Mary, I'm going to clear out to this puddle and make me fortune, even if I have to bury it. And then he said, bury me fortune? Huh, that's a joke, isn't it? I don't know what he meant by it.
I think I do, Mary. Watson, we're taking a short train journey as soon as possible.
Oh, where are we going, may I ask?
We're going to the town of Bury in search of this young lady's husband.
What makes you think Tom might be buried, Mr. Holmes?
Because the famous Fortune cotton mills are in Bury, it would seem possible that when your husband joked of burying his fortune, he was talking of going to the mills there.
Wherever he's gone, he won't be coming back for me. I know that.
Now, don't talk like that, my dear. Remember, you have friends, Mrs. Lackland. How much longer is Holmes gonna be? He leaves me standing outside the factory gates as if I was a blasted coachman. Ah, there he is. There he is. Holmes. Holmes.
Hello, Watson. Permit me to introduce you to Mr. Tom Lackland. Tom, this is Dr. Watson.
How do you do, Dr. Watson? How do you do? Never mind how I do, young fellow lad. How do you do? Your behavior has been absolutely shocking. Shocking. Now, what are you talking about? Leaving your dear old mother and deserting your pretty little bride because you're ashamed of her. You're a scoundrel, sir. You deserve a good horsewhipping, and I have a good mind to give it to you. I don't know what you're talking about, Dr. Watson, but I don't like the words you use. And if it's violence you want, I don't mind telling you that I am the amateur heavyweight champion of the county. You are. Oh, no need to become aggressive.
No, let's waste time on being acrimonious, Watson. Let's get back to the station as fast as we can. The return of the prodigal is long overdue. We must give them every opportunity to kill the fatted calf.
Ah, there's Mary's house. I'm dying to see her.
After this reunion, Tom, I suggest that you both go over and see your mother. I'm sure she'll forgive you.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, I'll do that. Perhaps we shouldn't have warned her. Your sudden appearance may be something of a shock. I don't think it's a shock that Mary can handle. Ah, she must be out. The door's locked. Knock again, if you don't mind. She may be asleep. Great heavens! That was a revolver shot.
Come on, Watson. Help me break down the door.
Now, Dr. Watson, that was a fine place to break off your story. You left me right on the edge of a cliff. Had the young girl shot herself?
She'd shot at herself, Mr. Bell, but fortunately her last-minute lack of courage had made her shot go wild. Holmes and I, and the young bridegroom, burst into the house and rescued the smoking revolver from her hand. I must confess, the reunion between the two young lovers was a touching sight. In fact, I felt considerably older than I was as Holmes and I stood there listening to Tom reassuring her. Mary, darling, it's all right. I'm here.
Oh, Tom, you are. You did come back for me. I never thought you would. I tried to kill myself, but I didn't have the courage.
Oh, there, Mary. Everything's going to be all right now.
Will it be, Tom? Won't it? Oh, I'm so tired.
And now, Tom, I think the time has come to reassure Mary that you did write to her.
Of course I did, Mary, darling. I sent you money and told you that I'd be back here to take you to Barry as soon as I saved up enough.
You wrote to me, Tom?
Twice a week, and I wrote to your mother as well.
Then why didn't I get the letters?
The answer to that should be obvious, my dear. Gilly the postman deliberately withheld them from you.
Gilly?
Great heavens, why?
I have my suspicions. Strong suspicions. But I have to get proof. Tell me, Mary, the day before yesterday, Mr. Threadgold murdered his wife. Do you know how he learned of her infidelity?
Well, I'm not sure, but I did hear Mrs. Michael say it was through some letters that got mixed up. The letters addressed to her were delivered to his office instead of at the house.
Gilly again.
Precisely. Surely the whole terrible pattern begins to take shape, Tom.
Yes, Mr. Holmes?
I'm going to lay a trap. To spring it, I shall need your assistance.
Of course, Mr. Holmes. I'll do anything.
Wait here with Mary until darkness falls. Then muffle yourselves up and go to your mother's house. Wait there in hiding and let no outsiders see you until you hear from me.
Since you two lovebirds have been separated for 4 months, I don't imagine that it will be too unpleasant.
Quiet, Watson. You understand, Tom?
Yes, Mr. Holmes.
Good. Come on, Watson.
What's your plan, Holmes?
I'll tell you as we go. One thing I can promise you. Before the sun is very high tomorrow, I shall free this village from one of the most evil powers I've ever come in contact with.
Good morning, Dr. Watson, Mr. Holmes.
Good morning, Mrs. Michael.
Good morning.
I always said that Mary was no good girl, and now she's killed herself. But of course, I had to come to her funeral.
That's very charitable, Mrs. Michael. I must say, in any case, the vicar says that the poor girl was of unsound mind.
Yes, madam. You can't blame her.
Well, I'll be getting to the church.
Holmes, this farce is beginning to get on my nerves. What are we accomplishing by burying an empty coffin?
You'll soon see, old chap. Come on, let's slip into the vestry. This way.
Now, where are we going, Holmes?
Up the stairs that lead to the belfry. Here they are.
Well, supposing Gilly turns nasty when he finds out we know his secret.
Then we must handle him with the best of our ability, Watson.
Well, I must say, I do not relish the thought of a tussle high in the belfry of a church. This man must be insane.
Obviously. That's why his power must be destroyed. This door apparently leads to the belfry. Keep your wits about you, Watson. Good morning, Gilly.
Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson, you've come to see me at work. That's nice of you. Not too often do I get company up here.
We haven't come up here to see you at work, Gilly. We know your diabolical work only too well.
Yes, Gilly, we know your secret.
What secret is that?
You're mad with power, Gilly. You've tried to control the destiny of this village. In your position as postman, you thought you had the power to give life and death.
That I am, sir. And it's of great power. It makes a man feel good. Almost like a god, you might say.
That's sacrilege, you scoundrel. You were responsible for the murder of Mrs. Threadgold.
Aye, sir. I was. And for the old man hanging himself.
You were responsible for John Letterby's suicide, weren't you?
That I was. Letterby tried to vote me off the village council. I swore to him he'd paid for it, and I did.
Your reign is over, Gillian. You'll never toll a bell again. The only one you'll hear will be a prison bell.
You can't touch me, Mr. Holmes. You've got no proof. There's nothing you can do.
Don't be too sure. I have enough influence to take your job away.
You would take me away from these bells? I live for these bells. You wouldn't take them away from me?
You couldn't live without the power they give you, could you, Gilly?
You're trying to destroy me.
You're already destroyed, Gilly.
Yes, you've already failed. Mary's alive.
Alive? But the coffin burying down here
is full of stone. You'll be the laughing stock of the village, Gilly.
They'll never laugh at Gilly. You can't catch me, Mr. Holmes. I'm beyond you still.
Quick, he's running up the ladder leading to the bell tower. What's he doing up there? He might set fire to the steeple. Could make any madness. I'm gonna go fetch him, Holmes.
No, Watson. He drew a knife as he fled. And with that rickety staircase and the narrow opening leading to the bell chamber, you'd never stand a chance. He'll get you on the first ledge.
Well, how are we gonna get him down?
There's only one way. He's in a tiny loft containing his beloved bells. We'll see how much he loves them in close quarters. I doubt even if he can stand the noise in that confined space. Where's that bell rope?
come down, Gilly. Come down from there.
Stop! Stop ringing my bell!
Not until you come down, Gilly.
Stop ringing them! I can't stand it! You'll make me mad!
You are mad, Gilly. Mad with power. Come down here, I say.
I'm coming! Oh!
Great heavens, he hurled himself out of the belfry. Holmes, he hasn't the chance of surviving that fall.
I had no intention of causing that unhappy man to jump to his death, Watson. Though I can't help but feel that his poor, demented mind may find a happier oblivion this way, rather than the confines of an asylum.
Yes, you're probably right, Holmes.
It's been a shocking case, Watson. Shocking. And once again it proved the old saying that violence does intrude recoil upon the violent.
Now, Dr. Watson, what about next week?
Well, now let me see what's left in here. Next week, I'll tell you a rather gruesome story about how Sherlock Holmes saved the life and the sanity of a certain Count Ramonea. I'll call it The Adventure of the Carpathian Horror.
School's out, and when it's warm weather, everyone has plans for out of doors. It's easy to have fun outside, and being safe is part of having fun anywhere. Sandy and Jimmy go to the lake with their parents. They have invited Mary and Frank to come along with them.
It was fun having Mary and Frank along. They're in the same grades as Jimmy and I. Frank couldn't wait to get in for a swim. He even had his bathing trunks on under his clothes. Frank, wait! Thank goodness I stopped him. There are rocks just under the water where he was going to jump. That might have been the end of his vacation right then. Of course, we all got in as fast as we could. One thing we had to explain to Mary and Frank is that we always swim in pairs. That way, there's no danger of someone getting into trouble without help being around. Frank kept wanting to go out in deep water, but Jimmy wouldn't let him. He couldn't swim well enough for that. We had kids here who got into trouble by swimming out and forgetting that it's just as far to swim back. Mary's a good swimmer and a smart one, too. She knew enough not to go out too far. We didn't stay out very long that first day. We hadn't been getting much sun lately, and it's easy to get sunburned before you know it. Jimmy and Frank didn't want to come in, but we told them they'd better, unless they wanted to get a bad burn.
Well, we are back again with Titan Radio Theater. I hope you're enjoying watching our talented broadcasters. I encourage you to investigate the Radio Audio Certificate program at Cal State Fullerton. You know, our students learn to develop, produce, and host compelling news, entertainment, and live radio programs, and they learn about the business involved in traditional and online broadcasting. You can visit our communications department website for more information. Now, more classic entertainment as we join the Lone Ranger in Trouble at the Rafter.
Oh, Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty "Hi-yo, Silver!" the Lone Ranger, with his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains, led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoof beats of a great horse, Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver. Let's go, big fella. Hi-yo, Silver, away!
Late one afternoon, the Lone Ranger's Indian friend Tonto entered Marshal Jack Forbes' office in Cooper City in northern Texas.
How, Marshal Forbes?
Yeah, who's that? Well, I'll be a two-toed grasshopper. Tonto, how in the world are you?
Oh, me fine.
Where's the Lone Ranger?
Oh, him in the hills north of town.
Well, I reckon the two of you come to this part of the country to see your old friends Clarabelle Hornblow and Thunder Martin.
No, we not come to see Clarabelle and Thunder this time.
Oh?
We come this way to look for a crook named Shelby. Well, him wanted for murder in Kansas. We trail him for a long time.
You must have if you followed him this far.
We lose trail 2 days ago. Masked man sent me here to tell you, be on the lookout for feller with big scar, forehead across his head.
Well, I'll tell my deputies to be on lookout for this Shelby feller. Then I'll ride to the Lone Ranger's camp with you. All three of us will look for the Rat's Trail just to give me time enough to talk to the boys, and I'll be right with you, Tonto.
Whoa there, whoa!
Meanwhile, Thunder Martin drew rein at Clarabelle Hornblow's kitchen door and hurried inside. The ex-mule Skinner's face was flushed with excitement.
Say, Clarabelle, I'm rich. I've struck it rich.
What do you say?
I found gold, Clarabelle. My luck's changed. I'm through working for wages. I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Will you quiet down, you mud-headed idiot?
Huh? What's wrong?
A feller named Shelby came to the door a little while ago, asking for a place to restand a mill.
Where is he?
In the next room, you big-head jughead. I bet he heard every word you said.
Well, doggone, you should have warned me.
I would if I had a chance. Now let's step outside so we can't be overheard. Now, where'd you find that gold, Thunder?
Down by the creek about 5 miles from here.
You don't know a dog damn thing about prospecting, but if you're doing it right about this, you better keep about it quiet.
I'll put my horse in the corral.
Good. I'll go inside and put down supper on the table.
When the food was on the table and the killer came to the table and wolfed his meal in silence. Then, when Thunder left the house to take care of the chores outside and Clarabelle cleared the kitchen table, Killer drew his gun.
Hey, what's the idea?
Don't make a sound or I'll shoot.
Have you gone loco?
Sit down in that chair by the table and be quick about it.
But,
Do as you're told, and I don't try to call for help.
Why, you no good uggerant smunk. This is the thanks I get for taking y'all in and feeding y'all.
Shut up. Now put your hands behind the chair.
You want to get away with this? Oh,
Keep quiet.
oh, my,
I'm gonna gag you with this towel.
oh, no, you don't.
Well, the chores are all done, Clarabelle.
Get your hands up, Thunder.
Hey, what's the idea?
Get your hands up or I'll shoot the woman.
All right, don't hurt Clarabelle. Well, what are you after?
The gold you found today.
Huh?
You're gonna show me where it is.
You'll never get away with this.
If you'll lead me to the gold, you won't get hurt. If you don't, you'll stop lead. Get going. Thunder and Martin tried desperately to think of a way to escape Shelby. After nearly 2 hours travel, the creek where he had accidentally struck gold was west of the ranch, but Thunder headed east, hoping to meet a rancher or a friend who could help him. After nearly 2 hours travel, that gold can't be far from the ranch.
Now, how do you know where it is?
I think you're stalling, and what's worse, maybe trying to lead me into a trap?
You want me to lead you to the gold, don't you?
You and Clarabelle Hornblow stepped out the kitchen so you could tell her more about the gold without being overheard. You must have told her where you found it.
No, Clarabelle don't know where it is. Shelby...
I think she does. She'll talk too, to save your hide. Turn that critter around, we're going back to the house. In the ranch house, Clarabelle had been struggling with the ropes that held her. By rocking her chair back and forth, she managed to move it close to the stove. Twice, she burned her wrist painfully against the hot metal. But at last, the signed rope broke as she strained at it. As soon as her feet were free, she hurried to the corral. Her favorite horse was gone.
Well, that no good, you thieving pokehead must have it.
Clarabelle quickly saddled another horse.
Steady, easy. The sooner I get to Marshall Forbes, the better. Get up there.
As she neared the main trail, it was necessary to descend a steep slope.
Easy there, easy. Come on, get up there.
Then, without warning, the animal lost its footing.
Oh, mercy! Oh, help!
Thrown from the saddle, Clarabelle pitched headlong to the bottom of the rocky slope, where she struck her head against a small boulder and lay still. A short distance away, the Lone Ranger signaled a halt and spoke to Marshal Jack Forbes and Tano.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Jack, did you hear someone calling for help?
Me hear it. It sound like woman.
Come on, we'll investigate. Come on, Silver.
A few minutes later, Lone Ranger, Tonto, and Marshall approached the still figure lying at the bottom of the slope.
Why, it's Clarabelle.
Lying unconscious. Looks like she took a header down the slope.
Bad cut on the forehead.
She may have suffered a concussion.
Me bandage cut on my head.
I don't savvy what she's doing out at this hour of the night, traveling cross country over places you ought to have more sense than to tackle. She's not as young as she used to be.
Tonto will ride back into town with the doctor. I'll stay with here till you return, Tonto.
That good to horse. Get him up, scout.
While Tonto rode toward town and Marshal Jack Forbes towards Rafter H, Thunder Martin and Shelby approached the ranch from the opposite direction. The scar-faced killer kept Thunder covered and watched him closely. They dismounted at the back of the door and entered the kitchen. Inside. Don't try a fast move, Thunder.
Don't worry. Hey, Clarabelle's gone.
Gone?
She got away.
Here are the ropes I tied her with.
Now, I bet she's gone for help. You'll be in real trouble.
I hear a rider.
Yeah, heading this way. Maybe that's Marshal Ford's come to get you.
I'm not caught yet. As Dade spoke, he swung his gun barrel to the side of Thunder Martin's head. The big man slumped to the floor, unconscious. Whoa! From a place near the open door, Dade watched the lawman dismount. Suddenly, the moonlight glinted on the star pinned to the marshal's vest. Thinking Clarabelle had told the law about him, the killer cursed softly. As the marshal hurried through the kitchen door, he fired. At the bottom of the slope where the Lone Ranger waited with Clarabelle Hornblow.
Take it easy, Clarabelle.
Whoa, where am I?
Tonto, Marshal Forbes, and I found you. What happened to your wrist there?
I burned him trying to get off the rope.
Who tied you?
A Scarface critter who came to my face of hood asking for a meal.
Hold it. A Scarface man? Is a scar across his forehead?
Say, how'd you know?
You wanted for murder.
He's at my place now, or somewhere around the place. He captured Thunder and me, and if he's a killer, oh, poor Thunder.
Tell me, did he rob you?
He wants to steal Thunder's gold claim. Mister, you gotta do something.
Miles to the south of the ranch, the Lone Ranger's great white horse raced across the fields after Shelby. The outlaw's trail was clear and easy to follow in the brilliant moonlight.
Hi-oh, Silver!
The powerful stallion responded with a sustained burst of speed, maintaining a speed that brought him closer and closer to the fleeing killer. Presently, the masked man saw Dade ahead. The mighty Silver began to close the gap separating them. Dade heard the thundering hoofbeats and turned around to look over his shoulder.
You're finished, Dade.
Dade recognized the masked man as a Lone Ranger. In a sudden panic, he snatched his gun from his holster. Turn back or I'll kill you. The frightened killer fired hastily. His shot was wide. I'll get you. The Lone Ranger counted the shots. When the killer's gun was empty, he brought the racing horse Silver close to the Palomino. Then he grabbed Shelby. Hey! Both men hit the ground as Silver and the well-trained Palomino slowed to a halt. The Lone Ranger leaped to his feet.
On your feet, Dade.
I'm unarmed. I'm out of ammunition.
Clarabelle Hornblow and Thunder Martin are friends of mine.
Friends?
Yes, that's right. Clarabelle's wrists are burned. She suffered a fall.
Now, wait a minute, mister. I didn't know.
You're due for a beating.
No! The killer's mouth gaped. He stepped back from the Lone Ranger stepped forward. His fist hit the point of Dade's chin.
That's the beginning. A minute ago, you were going to kill me.
Then the killer threw a jab that hit its mark. Then before he knew what happened, the Lone Ranger drilled the fist into his stomach. As Dade slumped forward, another blow hooked his chin. The killer went down. It was nearly a daybreak when the Lone Ranger reached the ranch with his prisoner. Doc Simpson was there with Clarabelle, Marshal Forbes, Thunder Martin, and Tonto.
Tonto, I struck it rich. Say, I have a little gift for you and the Lone Ranger. I want you two to have the first of the gold I took from my claim.
That plenty nice, Thunder.
Well, here you are. This for you and the others for our masked friend.
You think it's gold?
Of course it's gold. Look at the color of it.
No. That's not gold. It's pirate. Fool's gold, Thunder.
Fool's gold? I don't know.
Don't feel so bad, Thunder. That killer was a bigger fool about it than you were. He was planning to jump a worthless claim, and all he got for his trouble was a trip to the gallows. thanks to the Lone Ranger.
Hi-oh, Silver, away!
The Lone Ranger. Copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated is produced by Arizona Theater Works. The part of the Lone Ranger was played by none other than Adam Miranda, and I'm your announcer, Ivan Duran.
Oh, here they come again. And I'm frightened because a child can become trapped in me and suffocate in 10 minutes. Children have such imaginations. To them, an abandoned refrigerator can be a jail in the Old West. If I must be stored, make me safe by one of the methods described in this free booklet. Make me safe so children can play safe.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it. Write for Pollution Booklet, Box 1771, Radio City Station, New York.
Outstanding job on the Lone Ranger. Who was that masked man with the gun? Sorry, I don't know what triggered that loaded comment. Our final radio drama was originally written in 1937. Try not to be scared out of your seat as we enjoy Lights Out, Ghost Party.
Lights out, everybody.
It's a great night, isn't it?
Yes. Darling,
I wish we didn't have to go there.
so do I.
There will be a house full of loudspeakers trying to out-talk each other.
Can't we just sort of forget to go, Jim? It seems a pity to waste such a glorious night.
If it were just a plain party, it wouldn't be so bad, but it's one of Mrs. Hinkle's.
Are they as bad as all that, Jim?
Worse, the woman's got a party complex. She thinks she's a daring type, but actually the last time she had an original idea was just the site of the Civil War. She's built like a battleship.
What about Mr. Hinkle?
Oh, he makes a fit partner for her. He's as small as she's big, but he's about as party cuckoo as she is. And yeah, on top of that, he's one of these impractical jokers.
Oh my goodness, Jimmy. I don't think I want to go to their party. I mean, if that's the way they are.
No, don't worry. I understand that tonight the Hinkles are just having a quiet evening at home, I hope.
I don't like the way you said that, I hope. Jimmy, do you hear what I hear?
You should hear the Hinkos when they really get going.
Do we have to go there, Jimmy? Do we really, Jimmy?
Ours is not to question. Why? All we can do is go there and hope to heck that she isn't throwing a circus party with a couple of lions running loose.
I'll do more than hope, Jim. I'll pray.
Quiet, everybody. Quiet. Please, quiet. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you the queen of party makers, none other than my dear wife.
Thank you, dear friends. Thank you. Well, as you know, we've done just about everything at these parties. So tonight, I simply wrecked my brains for something that just hadn't been done before. And I'm sure when I tell you what it's all about, you'll agree with me that it's going to be quite a treat indeed. In fact, never have I ever had the good fortune of thinking of a clever, original, and entertaining of an idea as I've thought of for tonight. It'll thrill you. I simply know it will.
I don't like the look in that woman's eye, Ellen.
Oh, don't be silly. She's not as terrible as you said she'd be. I'll bet she's going to say that we're going to play post office or Puss in the Corner.
That's what you think, darling. That's what you think.
And so it is with the greatest of pleasure that I announce the piece de resistance of our evening, entertainment, which I am sure will thrill all of you. None other than an actual ghost seance. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you will all please come into the next room and the seance will begin. Hurry now. The spirits in it must not be kept waiting. In here, please. In here. Oh, Jimmy, I don't like this.
Oh, don't worry. We'll just sit around in the circle and hold hands. I won't mind that part of it.
A ghost seance? Is that woman's idea of fun? Now, everyone join hands. Everyone join hands. Mr. Hinkle, turn off the lights.
Right, my dear.
Oh, Jimmy, I wish I was home.
Say, this is nothing. You have to see the Hinkos' really bright ideas. I'll bet they're the ones who started the San Francisco earthquake.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, please. We cannot expect to have the proper contact with the spirits unless we are silent.
Thank you, Mr. Hinkle. Those are my sentiments exactly. The spirits, the spirits. Where are the spirits? Jim, how long is this going to go on? Let's try to sneak out now.
I can't, Ellen. I just can't. If old ego I found out.
All this silly nonsense, sitting in the dark and holding hands as if.
Wait.
Now quiet. No more whispering, if you please. If any of you think that this seance, which I'm about to conduct, is not perfectly serious, I assure you empathetically that it is. You see, last week, I went to see one of the greatest mediums in existence, and she told me I myself was a medium. I myself am psychic. Isn't that true, Mr. Hinkle?
Absolutely, my dear. He said you were positively psychic.
Now, hold tightly to your neighbor's hands, and I will go into a trance. Here I go.
She's been in a trance all her life.
All of this nonsense. That woman isn't a medium, is she, Jimmy?
She's medium crazy, that's what she is.
Jimmy.
Huh?
Why did you stand up?
What?
It's so dark, but I see you standing by me. Why don't you sit down?
But I am sitting down.
Then what?
Ellen, in heaven's name, what?
Turn on the lights, Mr. Hinkle. Turn on the lights.
Yes, in heaven's name, turn on the lights.
I can't find the switch. There, I've got it.
What's the matter? Who screamed? What's going on here? She fainted.
Yeah, get some water quick. Somebody. Ellen, open your eyes. What frightened you?
She's choking herself.
Ellen.
Her hands, they're covered with blood.
Get a doctor, someone. Get a doctor.
No, I see it clearly. It's just a scratch, just a scratch. Jimmy. See, she's coming too. She's all right. Just a scratch on her throat, just a scratch.
Scratch? You fool, look. It's teeth marks.
The most deplorable thing that ever happened to me. Sam, are you falling asleep down here?
Huh? What?
Oh, get up out of that chair and let's go upstairs and go to bed. Most disgusting party I ever had the misfortune to be concerned with.
It did turn out badly, didn't it?
Not at all. It would have been most entertaining, but for that little person fainting that way.
But her throat.
Now don't start that again, Mr. Hinkle. It was nothing at all, a mere scratch. Teeth marks indeed.
But they were plain.
She got all nervous and excited there in the dark, and she scratched herself, that's all, breaking up a perfectly good evening with her hysteria. Well, come, let's go upstairs.
Yes, my dear.
Ruining a perfectly good party that way. And that Jimmy person, persisting and wanting the police when one could see it was nothing but a scratch. Teeth marks indeed.
Yes, my dear.
Oh, I'll fix that young man's goose tomorrow morning. I will. Police in my house, I'll teach him. He'll be walking the streets when I get through with him.
And perfectly right, my dear.
And I spent so much time thinking up of the idea for the party. And we had such clever stunts planned, didn't we?
Yes, my dear.
What will people think of me? Such a disgusting exhibition. Well, Samuel, open the door. Open the door.
Yes, my dear.
Sleep. That's what I need. Sleep to forget the entire atrocious affair. Well, turn on the lights. Turn on the lights.
Yes, my dear.
All those clever little things we figured out. The luminous paint to shine in the dark, and you're getting under the table and pulling their legs and... Ah! Sam!
Yes, my dear.
In my chair, by the window.
My goodness.
Do you see him too, Samuel?
Yes, of course. Who is he?
I never saw him before in my life. Speak to him, Mr. Hinkle. Find out who in the world he is.
Well,
Oh, you mouse, you! Old man, who are you? What are you doing in my bedroom?
He won't hear you, my dear. He wants you to come closer.
Of all the nerve! Filthy old man! Get out of my chair. What are you doing here? Who are you?
You ask, who am I?
You heard me. Who are you? How did you get in here? Hinkle, call the police.
Come closer, the both of you.
Get out of my house. Out, I said. Hinkle, what are you standing there for? Do something.
Yes, my dear. He just went.
Went?
Just like you. Turn out a light.
Samuel.
Yes, my dear?
Where did he go? I wasn't watching. Where did he go?
He just disappeared.
You fool. People don't just disappear. I know. He sneaked downstairs. My silver. He sneaked downstairs while I was talking to steal us out of house and home. Hinkle.
Sit down, my friends. Sit down, my friends. We have a long time ahead of us.
Sam, I've been thinking all this time.
Thinking what?
Thinking of what he wants of us.
He hasn't said a word for hours, has he?
He doesn't have to speak, Sam. I know.
No, what?
He wants to kill us both. What's he waiting for? What is it? Staring and staring. Why doesn't he speak again?
No, no. When it's daylight, things will be different. He'll go away. A dead thing like that can't live in daylight.
But it's hours until day. Hours, Sam. I can't stand it anymore. Go up to him. Talk to him. You talk to him.
I'd rather not.
Sam, do as I say.
Yes, my dear, yes.
Ah!
Excuse me, please.
Come closer. We have much to talk about, you and I.
It's not me that wants to talk. Please, my wife.
She is afraid to talk to me.
She's afraid that something will happen.
And so it will.
She asked me to ask you why you keep staring at her.
Did you ever see her blood?
Huh?
She has so much of it swimming in her veins, and I
You'll
have none.
you'll excuse me. I don't understand.
You want your life, don't you, simple man? Answer me. You want this thing called your life?
I want to live. Yes, sure.
And so do I. And only through blood, red blood, can I have life. The life I want.
Well, what can I do? I mean, I don't understand. Really, I don't.
Death or life? Which do you want, little man? Which?
Life?
Then listen to me. Put your ear close to me. Here's your choice. Your life or hers. Those pills for sleeping that your wife takes often, they're on the table by the bed.
Well,
fix them. A quick death, quicker than I would give her. You must give them to her. You fool, she's kept you under all these years. With her, you've been a man and yet not a man. Now I give you life. Give her the pills, you little fool. No one will know. And then it'll go away. I'll leave you alone. Give her the pills and I'll leave you alone.
yes. Why not? She's to blame that you're here. She did it at that crazy party. How or why, I don't understand, but she did it. Why should I die? Why should I?
Yes, yes. Why should you die? Go, make her sleep, and you'll be free of me forever.
Yes, I'll do it. I'll do it.
What did he say, Sam? What did he say?
You should go to sleep.
Sleep? What are you saying?
Yes, that's what he said. If you go to sleep, he said he'll disappear. Go back where he came from. Just sleep.
Sleep?
Yes, I'll get the pills. I'll get your pills.
Old thing. Sitting there staring at me. Who are you? Where did you come from? The dead don't live, and yet you're dead. I know you are.
Come closer.
What do you want from me? What?
Quickly, listen to me. If you listen, I'll give you life and go away. Hear me? Go away.
Yes, I'm listening.
He wants to poison you. Listen closely. He'll take a glass and give you one, the poisoned one. Switch the glasses, give him the poisoned one.
But
do as I say, and you'll have life. Kill him for me, and I'll give you life. You hear me? Give you life.
Life. Yes, I'll do it.
Go back. He's ready for you.
Yes.
Here, my dear. This will make you sleep. See? I mixed one for myself, too.
Yes, I see.
Here, this is yours.
The pill is in the water.
Yes, the usual one. Here, I'll drink with you. There's one in glass 2. Sleep well until it's day, and then that horrible old man, he'll be gone.
Look, he's standing up.
Eh? Where? No, he's still sitting there. He's been for hours. You move these glasses.
No, they're just the way they were. This one's mine?
Yes, that one is yours. Drink
Yes, and you drink yours.
together. Everything will be fine now. Fine.
Sam. Old man, you see? I did it. He's gone. Now you've got to go away. You said you go away.
Yes, I said I'd go away.
Why are you coming toward me? The other way, out where you came from.
Yes, soon I'll go.
See, he's lying here. I did just as you said I should. Don't look at me like that.
He's dead.
Yes.
And we're alone.
What?
Alone, me and you, and the blood in your veins.
What?
What I need to bring me back to life, the thick red liquid of life in your veins, to fill the emptiness of mine. Red life, I'll drink it.
No! Vampire, you!
Mwah, ha 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 ha.
Lights Out. Lights Out, written especially for Radio Arts Obler, comes to you each Wednesday from our Chicago studios.
Well, thank you for joining us this evening. Titan Radio Theater is brought to you by our COM 375 radio students, David Alvarez, Adam Aranda, Cade Bucknam, John Buzdar, Ivan Duran, Chad Gayton, Yetzel Gonzalez, Bianca Lambert, Julio Marquez, Giselle Martinez, Janelle Maryland, Jacqueline Rosales, Jesse Tinoco, and Cameron Winston. We appreciate the outstanding work from the staff of Titan Communications, Iraj Shadaram, Nathan Jeffers, and Matt Sylvester. We thank them for their expertise in making our first Zoom radio drama a success. I'm your friendly professor, Rob Van Riel, wishing you a fantastic evening.